Hello everyone and welcome to this another week summary for Yoga Vasistha. If you remember, this week we will be seeing 2nd of August, 8th of August till 14th of August, page number 221 to page number 227. And if you remember last time we ended up, it was the Vasistha who was talking, and he was talking about explaining Rama about how to destroy the seeds of distractions and distraction, and how to overcome the conceptual mind. And in that, if you remember last time, he said knowledge of the self, company of the holy man, and abandonment of conditioning, and the restraint of the prana. We talked a lot about prana last time, are the four means which can help you to overcome the mind. And then he also said Hatha Yoga, austerities, pilgrimage, rites, and rituals will not help you to get the self-knowledge. They will have its own benefits. You will get momentarily pleasurable experiences. You will also be able to, we will also be able to achieve some powers with that. Some, yes, some very different powers and siddhis. They are called siddhis as well. With those practices. However, to maintain those siddhis, you will need to continue the practice, and then you will have the limitations with those siddhis. One siddhi cannot be used for getting the benefits from the from something what is not in the realm of that siddhi, So there are still limitations when you get those powers. And now this particular knowledge that we are discussing here is actually taking you beyond that. So understand, those powers are also depending on some base from where those powers are coming out, and from where those powers are getting manifested through you as an individual. So there is still an individuality, there is still the powers associated with that individual, and there is still the base of the power. So this is what is calling at as you have not reached to the ultimatum of the self-knowledge. You have actually still not yet complete in self-knowledge thing. If you don't want the self-knowledge, if you just want the pleasurable experience, and if the ego inside you is still boosting and telling you, yes, I want to show off to the world where I can do some miracles, then of course then there is another different many paths available. However, Yoga Vasistha here is just breaking all those things, all those conditioning, all those barriers, and want to establish Lord Rama into the complete truth. That's why if you see the remaining life of Rama as a king and as a father, as a mother, as a father, as a husband, as a son, he never used any of those powers or siddhis to gain some benefits, personal benefits. He just lived the life of a normal human being afterwards, because that is what is the whole thing. You understood, when you understood the self-knowledge, and when you get the self-knowledge, and when you know that there is only one thing that exists in this whole entire universe, and that is the infinite consciousness which is manifested into the many forms, then after that you just live naturally, because this body is in body is there, the mind is there, the world is there, whatever is there, and you are there. So that's why you are just living whatever is coming. You are just spontaneously living the moment. You are just there, and you are just doing all that is required from you. You are not changing the world or the circumstances or the things around you to make it better for you or getting the benefits from them. However, you will still have the power to bless someone. So you will definitely be able to bless someone to make their life better. And if you see, that is what has been happening in the life of the sages and the masters and the so far gods who has visited this planet. They have blessed the people to make their life, but no one you will see in this whole history who has blessed themselves and made their life better and ask for benefits for their own sake. That is still becomes the egocentric way of living the life, though you get the spiritual understanding. So I mean, there will be some people living like that, but they are not established into the self-knowledge according to says Vasistha. So page number 221 on 8th of August, he starts explaining further to Rama. This is a very good interaction that is happening between Rama and Vasistha now, because Rama is now understanding and establishing into that pure knowledge that sage Vasistha was talking about. And now that afterwards the journey is going to be more intense and in-depth, because Vasistha will be opening up more and more beautiful deep petals of the self-knowledge. So Vasistha continue, he who acts without the attachment merely with the organs of action, he who acts without attachment merely with the organs of action is not affected by anything, neither by the joy or by the sorrow. He sees not though the eyes sees, he hears not though the ears hear, he touches not though the body touches. Surely attachment, contact and association is the cause of this world illusion. Attachment causes bondage and endless sorrow. Attachment is that which makes conditioning of the mind more and more dense. But the liberated sage, yes. Now understand this. Everything that is associated with you right now in your life, you will see there are two things are in place, in relation. That's why those things are there in your life. One is raga and one is dvesha. Raga means attachment, some kind of connection with that, some kind of passion towards that, some kind of liking towards that, some kind of attraction towards that. That all things comes under raga. So you will see in your life, whatever you have, the way your life is, it is because of the attachments. And then dvesha means the aversion, the hatred. You will see that your behavior, your actions, your concepts in your mind are affected with either by the attraction towards that particular thing or person or situation, or hatred towards that person or situation or thing. So either you like something, that's why you are behaving or you are doing something, or you don't like something, you hate something, that's why you are behaving in particular way in that thing. Observe everything, every emotion, every habit, every right wrong concept, everything you are doing in your life has to have some raga or dvesha attached to that. The moment you become aware of that and you realize that it is only on the level of the mind, that attachment or that hatred is only on the level of the mind. The objects on its own is free and the subjects on its own is free. But it is just the conditioning that is happened to the subject, which is in reference to the object, is creating either the raga, attraction, passion, or attachment, or dvesha, hatred or aversion about that. So the moment you are free from that, then you see that the self-knowledge automatically dawns in us. However, till the time that conditioning is there, the mind is becoming more and more dense. That is what he is saying. The existence of the mind is because of the raga and dvesha. The concepts in your mind is because of the raga and dvesha. Everything in our life is because of the raga and dvesha. Either your attraction, attachment, or aversion or hatred. Now he further says that thus the conformity situation of the individual. Now, in case of the liberated sage, the one who is liberated himself from the conditioning and one who knows that he is free from those conditioning are attached or come to him, and he is not really, the true nature of the self is not the condition. The conditioning applies to the mind. So the one who is liberated from that understanding and concepts, the sage, in his the conditioning is weakened and become thin. It might not be destroyed, but it has become weakened. And even the weakened conditioning also is pure conditioning, which will not result in the rebirth. Again, I will say rebirth is a concept. So if you want to do something for not getting the rebirth, again you are caught up into that thing. So basically, once you're free, you're free. We don't know whether there is a rebirth or there is not rebirth, because we are not 100% sure about our previous births. We get some glimpses here and there, but that is not the 100% truth. We don't know the entire lifespan that we spent in our last life birth. We don't know who was our parents, what place we were living, what was our name, what things we had, how was our education, how was our marital life, if there was any, how was our job, what was our whole thing. We just get glimpses here and there, which are there attached to the stresses of in the memory, and that memory is again creating that, either it is giving the glimpse of the truth if that has happened, or it is giving the glimpse of the illusion. However, that is a concept. Again, if you are thinking that, oh, I should not be doing this, or I should be doing this so that I will not get born again. So you are again attached to that, getting born or not getting born. Understand how this life has come into this place. This life has come into this place, and you are here in this body, you are here with this mind, and there is nothing in your hand. You have not done anything. If before you were born anybody has given you the idea that pure consciousness is going to get trapped into this body and is going to consider itself as a body, and you are going to go through all those worldly matters with name, form and concept, then at least most of us who are wise will not have considered this. They said, no, I want to get into all those things. I'm happy here the way I am right now, free. So that's why it has come spontaneously, without our understanding, without our wish, without our need, or whatever it is. When it comes spontaneously, it is staying spontaneously, and it will go spontaneously. Even the death is not in our hand. When this consciousness is going to leave the body, we don't know. Tomorrow, what is this consciousness is going to do? Next moment, what thought is going to arise in this consciousness? Next moment, what action is going to happen through the sense organs? We don't know. We can, to the certain degree, say yes, we can control that, but however, that is also limited. We have to work very hard on that. And the liberated sages, the masters, the gurus, they will have the whole say over the senses, because they are not working for the senses or attached to the senses. They are established into the background of the self and just witnessing everything that is happening naturally, as of the nature of the senses, nature of the mind, nature of the body. So this, when this conditioning weaken, we can just say that you start getting more and more self-knowledge, Whether he is subjected to the great pain or he is appointed as a ruler of the heaven, he remains in a balanced state of mind. And once you are there, then you become the whole king of the heaven. What is that? It is nothing. It is just another thing. All those things, credits and money and all the merits you are getting, all those pleasures you are getting are limited, whether you are the king of the heaven also, or you are going through a lot of pain. Then also the pain is associated with the body, and the body is going through the pain. The pain is associated with the mind, and the mind is going through the pain. I am still free, because mind and body are limited only till the time this consciousness is aware of its individual existence, separate from the infinite or universal consciousness. Okay. So now, as you can see, it's getting more and more deep now. Now here Vasistha says, "Oh Rama, I have given you all the knowledge that you need, and you observe this truth. And then, oh noble man, though engaged in diverse activities, you will not be bound if your intelligence is saturated with this truth. Otherwise, you will fall even as an elephant falls from the cliff." Even in the diverse situation, you will not get bound. That's what we saw in the previous thing. If you get a pain or if you get a pleasure, then also you will not get sweat. In order to reach to the state of perfection and liberation taught by me, you should live a life of non-attachment. Doing what is appropriate at every situation as it reaches you. Rest assured that this is the vital factor in the teachings of all the scriptures. Non-attachment, understand non-attachment. And in further he has also said, yeah, immediately in the next paragraph he has said, by resorting into the dispassion and in clear understanding of the truth, the ocean of samsara, bondage of the life and death, can be crossed. So understand, non-attachment and dispassion, these are amazing words, but it has been misunderstood. Non-attachment, attachment is happening through the mind, isn't it? My body is getting some pleasure, my mind is getting some pleasure, my ego is getting some pleasure, that's why I'm attached to something. Dispassion, I'm passionate about something because by doing that particular action or by doing that particular thing, I get pleasurable experience. I'm passionate about music because when I play the music, then I get some kind of peace or pleasure. I'm passionate about fitness because when I do the fitness, then I feel something good for myself. Or I get another way of tool in my hand to show off and boost my ego. Let's be very clear, okay? Few of you might not like whatever this will be said here, but this is the ultimate how it looks like to me. Okay, so now, are you ever been passionate in your life about something that is painful to you? Has anybody ever said, or you yourself can think, oh, I'm passionate about hurting myself, I'm passionate about crying, I'm passionate about being sad, I'm passionate about giving it back to the people right, left and center? You cannot, because the basic substratum of the consciousness, which is made up of the happiness, pleasure, compassion, belongingness, peace, all these are the inbuilt characteristics. It is the nature of the consciousness. It is all these are things are there, present there. So the moment you become passionate about thing and you achieve something, that pleasurable experience takes you back again to the source. And that's why the good things we want to do in your life, that's why the happy things we want to do in your life, that's why the pleasurable experiences we want in your life, because when they complete or during the process of the completion, because our whole body mind complexity is moving towards that, and after completion of that, even the event is finished, the experience is finished, that particular outcome of that is taking you back to the source where the pleasure, peace, happiness, everything is there. That is why this passion is important in our life. Now, you can do all those things. Dispassion means not doing all those things. Dispassion means you can do all those things, but understand this attachment. Understand what's happening. Understand the mechanics of what's happening. Whatever is already there, if you can directly go into that source and you can directly drink the water from the well, then why you have to create the whole drama of going around the whole country and whole village and then reaching to the well and then drinking the water because you are tired of running around? Think over it. Whatever you are doing in your life, if pleasure and peace is the ultimate aim that you want, and if it is inside only you, then why are you doing all these things? So once you understand this and once you establish into this ultimate undisturbed continuous flow of peace from within, which is a self knowledge, understanding about that. What is self knowledge? Self knowledge is becoming one with the self. Once you become one with the self and there is no duality, there is no two happening, and you can see that I like this body is a reflection and projection that is happening in the self. All the other bodies are there, and underneath, though it appears to be the individual consciousness functioning, that individual consciousness is completely attached and depending on the infinite flow of the consciousness, which is little bit conditioning to start with. Because of this, the whole individuality is come, but beyond that, the absolute, where there is no conditioning and nothing there. So the moment you understand that, and when you implement this passion in your life, then it just becomes a spontaneous action, 100% into that moment, the way it should be happen, perfected. So your action become perfect, your actions become 100%, and your action becomes spontaneous. So all those things happens, and the fruit of the action is always good, always perfect, and always the way you need it at that particular moment, or somebody else need it. That is what is happening. What is gone into all those things? Your attachment, your aversion. I don't want this, I don't want that to happen, I want this to happen, I don't want this to be like this, I want this to be like this. All those drama going in our mind is just gone. Non-attachment and dispassion, that is what is called. And then after that, you are doing whatever is needed to be done. As long as one considers the body as I, and as long as the self is related to what is seen, as long as there is a hope in objects with the feelings of this is mine, so long will there be the delusion concerning mind, etc. So the mind is existing because of this is I am thinking, I'm this body, my name is so and so, I'm such and such human being, I'm talented, I'm not talented, I'm working, I'm not working, I'm healthy, I'm not healthy, I want this, I don't want this, this is right according to me, that is wrong according to me. All those drama will go away the moment you will start reaching close to the self and becoming one with the self. Again, don't kill the mind, because mind is there always. Don't kill the body. People have misunderstood in scriptures that what is that word they use, the liberation, or anyway, I forgot that. The liberation happens after you drop the body. Now, drop the body means you don't have to die. You drop the body means you drop the attachment of the body. Realize that you still exist without the body. You aim for that. What is that right now inside you, which is listening through the ears, through the mind, through the things, all those objects you will see, that is, you can see outside you, are helping you to listen, to see this, are all those. If you take it out, then something deep inside there is something that you cannot hold on. It won't have any shape, it won't have any, you can't see it, it won't have any shape, it won't have any sound, it won't have any name, but it is there in a very subtle form, and that is what is responsible for you to see, you to hear, you to understand this, because that itself wants to know itself, that it is the knowledge about it. That's why you're finding it so much good, and it's taking you, these words, this knowledge, this understanding, this book is taking you back to that source. That is why you want to know more about this, because you want to know more about your own existence. You want to know more about yourself. And that is why self-knowledge is becoming one with the self. The incorrect perception has come to an end, and when the sun of the self-knowledge arises in the heart, know that the mind is reduced to naught. Of course, we just talked about that. The state of the mind of the liberated ones, one who are still living, who see both the supreme truth and the relative appearance, is known as sattva, transparency. And now he has given some understanding about the sattva. The sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas are there. Rajas is the movement that happens on the level of the mind, and like he has explained so many times, says Vasistha, that the body doesn't do any action, the action happens in the level of the mind. So rajas is the mind, and tamas is the one who is the lethargic need, which what inside you gets tired. The mind and the body gets tired. The consciousness will never get tired, because consciousness is not there for to getting the tired. So sattva is the purest form of your being, that is the consciousness. Rajas is the mind inside you, and tamas is your own projection about yourself into the material form, into the physical form, which is existing as your body, and which is telling you how separate you are from the entire world or from the truth. This is how the sattva, rajas, tamas. And what I was saying just now, that the one who is witnessing this sattva, rajas, tamas activity is the one who knows that I am not this sattva, rajas, tamas, is the real entity inside you, which is the ultimate of all. However, it's inside you has been said, because you can access is through this body, mind and consciousness. Again, don't hate the body and mind. Don't worry about the mind. Don't worry about the body's action. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future plan. It is required, and because of that only you are understanding the truth. So that reference point is also equally important and should be respected and honored, and then to reach to the truth. And once you reach to the truth, this reference point, body and mind, will start acting according to your need as an consciousness for the sattva things. Then it's working on its own. O Rama, you have reached the state of sattva and your mind has been burned. What is that wisdom? It is the infinite. It is that the infinite Brahman is indeed the infinite Brahman. The word appearance is but an appearance whose reality is Brahman. The word appearance is still just an appearance. The reality is Brahman. It's still there, Recollect your essential nature of an infinite consciousness. Abandon notions of the diversity, and you are what you are. Not seen that as a concept, but beyond the self-luminous being. Salutations to you, O cosmic being. This is infinite consciousness. So he has established those seeds of the self-knowledge into the Rama, and because he understood that and he's established into that, then because it's a reflection of the same self, so he's bowing down. Sage Vasistha is saying salutations to the Rama, because once the knowledge is done, what is different between Sage Vasistha and Sage Lord Rama? Everything is same, because that knowledge is here projecting through the body of Vasistha, there it's projecting through the body of Rama. So there is no individuality, that's why they can bow down to each other. 224, page 11th of August. Vasistha continue. That which is known, Rama, is the truth, the magnificent and infinite ocean of consciousness, in which numerous universes appear and disappear like the ripples of the waves. Remain in that state of equanimity. You are like infinite space. Space is the first physical separate form that has come into existence into this consciousness, which can be felt or experienced after the consciousness. That's why if you go close to that, also we start getting close to the consciousness. See, mind needs some object. Mind needs some object for it to understand something. Now, if we say, oh, your consciousness, mind says, oh my goodness, what's this? I don't understand. You are like space. So the mind has seen, the eyes have seen the space, the vastness of the space. You have read about it, you have heard about it, you have seen it. So the mind just relaxed, because it don't know where the space ends. It's just infinite. And once the mind starts relaxing and expanding into that infinite space, it starts going to the infinite consciousness, which is just behind, or which is just underlying that's physical space. The spaces exist into that. It is also wrong to say it is underlying and all that, but for the understanding purpose, I'm saying this. It is just there. The consciousness is there, the space is there, and the mind is just dissolving into like that, and just becoming one with what is already. Experiencing is non-different from consciousness, and ego sense is non-different from experiencing. Now understand this. Experiencing is non-different from consciousness. We just talked about that. Who is experiencing inside you? It is the consciousness that is experiencing everything, right? Now ego sense is non-different from experiences. After the experiences, the ego sense is formed. Oh, I am experiencing this. The jiva is not different from this ego sense, because of that I am. Now you want to have that individual thing, individual concept of soul, individual concept of I am, or individual consciousness has come into the being, which says I am experiencing this through the ego sense and through the jiva. Mind is not different than the jiva. Mind is again, now jiva had a mind because through which it is experiencing. The mind comes into the sense. The senses are not different than the mind. The mind is experiencing the world through the senses. The senses comes into the body is not different because of the senses. The body exists. The world is not different than the body. The body is there because the body is there. The world is there. Like your body is there. millions and billions and trillions of other bodies are there. Some are moving, some are not moving, some are living, some are not living, some are big, some are small, some are called planets, some are called stones, some are called trees, some are called creepers, some are called human beings, etc., etc., etc. This catalog of dependent categories has existed for a very long time, yet this is neither seen as a set of notion by anyone, nor can we say that where it is existed for very long and very short time. The truth is, Rama, that all this not else but the self-experiencing of infinite. The infinite is experiencing all those things happening inside it, and all those things is happening, and in one way allowed this to happen because of the power and the nature and the knowledge of the infinite. That's why the infinite has got this knowledge of so many diversities. That's why so many diversities are coming. The infinite has got the power of these elements, which is converted into the senses, which is converted into the objects of the senses. That's why everything is just coming out of that, because the knowledge, the power is there into the infinite. That way everything is manifesting, and it is just experiencing its own manifestation. It is just experiencing its own self-experiencing of the infinite. Now Rama asked a question. All my doubts has been dispelled. I am free from the attraction and resistance, raga and dvesha. I am established in the nature. I rest in the self. I am happy. Salutations to me and salutations to you. It is written in the scriptures when we are doing the offerings and when we are doing the prayers and when we are doing the pujas. You cannot offer, the ultimate offering is that you can only do it to yourself by becoming one with the deity or the god or goddesses or anything. Why? Because once you become one with the consciousness, the god, goddesses, all the deities, all the energies are nothing but they are staying in the consciousness. So once you become with the one and once you offer with the one, that is the whole of bestest offering that can happen. And puja means, from the fullness of your own consciousness, when you offer all that thing to yourself and you bow down to, and then only you can bow down to yourself, because you have seen the purest form of yourself. So this is the highest level of understanding in the self-knowledge, that, once you realize the truth, then whom you are bowing down and why you want to bow down, everything is you, then let's bow down to yourself. And it is not the egocentric bowing down. Oh, I am bowing down to myself, I am God. No. It is bowing down to that thing which is inside me, which I can feel, I can experience, which is inside him, her. So you can bow down to the young child, you can bow down to the old person, you can bow down to the tree, you can bow down to the animals, you can bow down to anybody, and you can bow down to yourself as well. Why bowing down to yourself is little difficult? Because we have witnesses all our wrongdoings and our so-called sins or so-called wrong actions that has happened in the past, and that is stopping us to becoming one with the consciousness. That is stopping us to becoming one with the godliness inside us. That is stopping us to bowing down to ourselves. And plus the concepts that we have been bombarded by the society and family and culture around us, that no, you can't bow down, it's like a egoistic thing. That is what is stopping us. But for the liberated one, for the person who has understood the self-knowledge, what I am bowing down to you, I am bowing down to me, it's same thing. But the body is just doing the action. Deep inside, it is all one. Now Vasistha continues, listen now, I am telling you now another deep knowledge. He says, my dear, hence I declare the truth to you once again. When one is ignorant, one entertains the wrong notions of the body and senses, and his own senses prove to be his worst enemy. On the other hand, who is endowed with self-knowledge knows the truth and enjoys the friendship of the senses. Correct understanding of the body and intelligence that dwells in the body enables one understanding the entire creation in its material and its spiritual aspect. Means understanding yourself, understanding your body, understanding your mind, understanding yourself, you can understand the whole creation. In the absence of the test, like the direct knowledge of the cosmic intelligence, the senses endeavors to apparent their objects and vainly imagine that such contact gives rise to the meaningful experiences. When there is no self-knowledge, when the self is not experiencing itself but is experiencing the object, then you get the meaningful experiences, pleasurable or painful. And then talk about the life force. Keeping the company of fools is like sitting in a forest, and then ignorant of the self is a source of troubles. And I just explain a few things very nicely that I'm pretty sure you can read. And then Vasistha continues that birth and the childhood led to the youth, and youth leads to the old age, and old age led to the death. Now he's explaining all these things, how this world has created so many dramas around it. However, all of this, all prosperity and all adversity, childhood, youth, old age, death, is also suffering, what is known as being immersed in happiness and unhappiness, and all the rest of it. All this is extensions of those dense darkness of ignorance. Means everything that you are experiencing. He has given a nice explanation about the youth, about concept of world experience lies. There is noble people who has risen. Lots of another amazing thing he has given. This creation is senseless, yet it gains the false reality. This you can read. This is not like you will not understand. You have understood a lot of things, but then this is all nothing but the extensions of the darkness of the ignorance. That ignorance expands by meaning of that ignorance expands by the meaning of ignorance and yields greater ignorance, which when it seeks wisdom, it feeds on wisdom and grows into wisdom in the end. And this creeper of ignorance, then he's talked about that, he actually saps your memory of past experiences. Vichara and inquiry, contemplation into the nature of the self is the termite that eats it away, the ignorance away. This creeper itself is manifest as all these, the stars and the planets, living beings, plants and elements, heaven and health, gods, as well as the worms and vomit. Whatever there is in this universe is pervaded by this ignorance. When it is transcended, you will attain the self-knowledge. The moment you will come out of that and you will see all this happening, and the projection of the self and the projection of this consciousness, and everything is there in the different form because of the knowledge in the self and the consciousness, then you will come to know, then you will attain the self-knowledge. That is what he has said. That ends our summary up till 227 page, 14th of August. We will let you know which 6 or 7 pages you have to read for next week. Till the time, keep contemplating, keep reading, keep understanding, keep challenging your concepts, keep going beyond your mind, and keep witnessing all those things. This is the biggest sadhana you can do. This is the biggest practice you can do, and it can happen now and any minute. Whatever actions you are doing, you don't have to take out a separate time for that. Just become aware who is sitting, who is watching, who is talking, who is listening, and keep going back to the self. Keep going back to the source, that purest form of I am, into this or around this body that you can feel. Till then, take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.